Welcome back again, guys. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why the narcissist. Pretty much, a lot of you go on wanting to know why the narcissist put you through everything you went through just to mess it up. Like they depend on sources and stuff so much, but yet they end up messing up the sources that they managed to gain a hold of. And the simple thing, the simple answer, guys, lies within dysfunctionality, right? Um, the narcissist cannot help in many ways the way their behavior comes out. I mean, they're aware of it, they can control it at times, but they do have the lack of impulse control. And that is a major thing for you guys to understand when you look at this and when you try to dissect what actually goes on and how things go wrong within these relationship makeups with narcissists, or these transactions as I call them with narcissists. You have to understand that the lack of self-control and their uh, lack of impulse control, these two things combined creates a very unpredictable and unstable individual. So you may think that you have figured out the individual that you're dealing with, which may be a narcissist, but you haven't. And the narcissist is basically an out of control and unruly individual trying their absolute hardest to remain or give the appearance that they're in control and that they are um, can manage to behave in an appropriate manner. With that being said, why do they do it? Why do they do these things? So when you lack impulse control, when you get certain impulses that trigger you to do certain things, a normal person is able to go through the stages of deductive reasoning to calculate risk versus reward, and to assess whether or not certain behaviors would lead to detrimental effects between situations and individuals. Well, with the narcissist, this process doesn't happen. This process doesn't function that way. And so when we try to reason from someone who is um, dysfunctional in the way that they process their cognitive reasoning skills to process on whether if they do something that may critically damage the very source that they depend on. Then again, the narcissist also resents and hates being dependent on the source that they are dependent on. They begin to resent and hate the fact that they do need them, because remember, the narcissist wants to exist in their delusional state of being superior and greater than other individuals. So at the end of the day, guys, even though you may be doing for them, you may be doing well by them, that delusional state triggers the impulses that they have within them, which they cannot control. This is what leads them to infidelity, cheating, lying, all these things, stealing, whatever it may be that they are not um strong enough to suppress, they will give into. It's not a maybe, it's not a if. It is when it happens, they will give in. Almost 99% of the time. They have no filter when it comes to um, delaying gratification. So, by that nature, when many of you think, well, why did they go and cheat on you, for example? Well, by the nature of the way they're made up and the way that they process mentally, their desires and impulses take precedence over any type of moral or ethical agreements that you may think that you have with the individual that is a narcissist. Those things do not come into play. So when you're expecting, even those of you who take them back on second terms of making up, you'll find that the same thing continues to happen. The narcissist does not know how to suppress or to stop their out of control impulses. And by that very nature of them not being able to control that, they're going to commit acts and do things that is completely inappropriate and which even may lack a moral compass from them. This is why the narcissist cannot afford to be loyal to anything. They can't. It would go against the whole, I guess you can say, it would go against the whole, overall basis of what that disorder is made of, to be loyal. It just doesn't go together with them. So when you think about the word loyal in general, when you take into consideration why they do you what they do you, in the end, why do they discard you? Why do they cheat on you? Why do they lie to you? Because there's no honor or loyalty to you whatsoever. It is all about them. Even with it being all about them, they will still break their own codes and things that they say they're not going to do, because they can't uphold anything in regards to being genuine or honest or committed to themselves even. So if they can't even do this for themselves, then you don't have anything coming. So you see, there's really no rhyme or reason why they do a lot of these things. It's just the nature of the beast. This is how they function within that disorder. And the disorder takes no prisoners. It even in the process, in many ways, destroys them as well. So you basically have someone who is reckless and out of control, trying their damnedest for the sake of maintaining the supply to keep everything together so that they are not exposed and lose the supply from the get-go, from the onslaught of first meeting them. So essentially, when you meet the narcissist, there's a delayed effect of the inevitable that's going to happen. So why does this happen to you? Because you are dealing with someone, ran into an individual who is completely out of control, who is pretty much a danger to even themselves. And basically they were able to convince you that they were somewhat normal, somewhat sane, someone just like the average person, when in fact they're nothing like the average person. They are in no way normal. So it's not a personal thing of why they personally picked you to do this to you. In a way, you can kind of see it as um, through our lack of knowledge, becoming victims of circumstances, going into, um, a situation that appears safe, but in fact it's very dangerous. So all I have to say for this video, guys. Like the video, subscribe, share it with friends if you have anyone that could benefit from it. Click on the link to get the copy of my documentary that I did that covered a lot of stuff on narcissism, went into a lot of detail, brought a lot of clear understanding. Very good documentary. It was voted and selected best documentary of 2018 of the year, so definitely worth the look. Anyway, guys, till next time, have a good one.